It does not look like... Okay. I am dropping frames. So that's an improvement. There. Okay. Looking pretty good. Hello, Mojo. Hello, Jazz. How are you guys doing? You got 2 streams to watch now. So much going on. I don't know how you guys are going to manage it. Yeah, don't tell Bruno. I won't. You guys are sneaking over here. Don't want to offend him or anything. Yeah, after no-lifing the Righteous Mind for my book club, which I read like a majority of it, and God, it was like 2 days, dude. It was like 300 or 400 pages. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but man, this book was kind of dense. My ultimate book review it was okay for what it was. If you are an academic leftist that is concerned about understanding morality, specifically conservatives and liberals, as well as some of the behavioralistic aspects of why morals potentially, how do I word it? If you're curious about an evolutionist perspective on why morals existed with regards to group selection and Darwin, there's a lot of that in there. A puppy I was watching for a couple of days completely destroyed my apartment. How did it destroy your apartment? That sounds kind of bad, but also it's the nature of the chaotic pupper. There's nothing you can do about it other than accept. It's actually kind of funny, the more I think about it. The newly created life enacting so much destruction. And you just got your apartment together as well, so that's also kind of funny. Let's see, I need to make negative money. That's what I gotta do. Let's take our crisp money and make it red. Because nothing says negative like red. Shredded carpet, pooped in the carpet, broke my blinds. Damn, dude. Ate my shoes. You suffered greatly. That actually sounds like a lot. A lot of suffering. It's okay. The puppy was just commenting on the blinds, which obviously should be curtains because those are better. Bro was here for 3 days. Oh my goodness. Honestly, that just shows the ultimate potential. What would you call negative money? And like the shorthand. Maybe like... I mean, I could just put negative money, but... He did that in an hour when I had to go to the store. Wow, dude. What a menace. Deficit? Deficit money. That's good. That kind of fits. That's shorter than negative, so I'm going to use that. Thank you. Let's do a red shift. Yeah. Honestly, that's pretty good. I was also thinking of making a bunch of bills, but I kind of like the money look to it. Anti-money. That's even better. Yeah, that's much shorter. Anti-money. I could just call it debt too, but I want money to be retained in there since it is supposed to be like collectible and then causes a deficit. So we'll keep deficit for now. Actually, no, anti-money is way better. I like that. Thank you, Jazz. Let's do anti-money. That's much shorter. Unmoney. Oh my goodness, it's even better. Because that reminds me of Magic. Magic has all the... Here, I'll show you. I know you're not a Magic player. All the Magic sets, they had these... the unsets is what they're called. So they had unglued, unhinged, and they did some other stuff. And all of the cards were like really wacky things, like rip up the card, or like this one is like you put these two cards together and pay all this mana to make something happen. Yeah, the Lotus is you tear it into pieces, and things like that. There's like cards that make you do like the chicken or like sing songs or something. They're really funny. It was a very creative set. They were like, hey, let's take magic and let's make a whole joke out of it. And so that's what they did. But yeah, this is what the un thing reminds me of. I like un better. So we're doing un. Good job. I like that. Good prefix for that. So my concept is just the outset of the concept. The level is called The Burden of Living, and this idea is that you carry this giant house, and then the unmoney is gonna rain. That's all I'm telling you so far. We're gonna start with that. We got to make the money come down. I got to make it so you can throw the house, because I like that. I have to change the origin point of it, because when it falls, the origin is in the middle, and so it doesn't look natural when it falls down and crushes you if you try to jump. So that's something we got to fix. But my animation for struggling to carry the house is pretty good so far. I'll let you figure out the symbolic implications of what I'm trying to say as the level develops. So let's see, we have unmoney. That's good. We can probably start by, let's create a object for money. I guess I can take the money object I have. Money, because we're going to need to modify that. Yeah. The unmoney. I still like that. I think I like the underscore. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. The underscore looks good. Let's change the sprite to that. Okay, so now I'm gonna change this. It's got thingamajiggers in here. Cool. It's got gravity. Neato. Can be picked up. Is there some sort of... Oh, yeah. So if it can be picked up and it touches the player, we actually want to subtract the current room money. I forget exactly what that variable does, but then the player's money. Oh, I think the room money just counts how much money you've earned in the room and then like resets it or something. I actually don't have a money noise. That's kind of interesting. I thought I would have. Weird. We're going to make it reduce the player's money because that is funny to me. So there we go. We have unmoney. Let's move it in the correct. As much as I would love to leave it floating here, I don't have very good sorting. I might just have to spend a whole day sorting all of these relatively soon because this is nightmarish that I even remember where any of this stuff goes. Okay, we have unmoney. Let us create a, we'll call this the burden controller. This is going to be an invisible object that exists on the level. And it is going to control things. We needed to control things happening during the level, spawning unmoney. Actually, let's check the hitbox of the house. So the collision of the house is this square, and it is a rectangle with rotation, so it rotates as it rotates. Sweet. Sounds redundant, but we'll roll with it. So what do we want to do here? I just want to spawn money to start. Let's create a timer. Should I do it like this? Do I want this to do anything else? I feel like it's going to have phases. So we should probably create a phase variable. I could do alarms, but for some reason I've had an aversion to alarms like since a year ago. So, table here, flip this. Flip it. Is that your reaction to my programming or the dog? Is that just what the dog did to your house? The puppy taking everything out. Let's do an alarm. I should say unmoney spawn. And then let's instance create My other dog just peed on the floor because it smelled like the puppy. I give up. Dude, you are suffering today. You're absolutely suffering. Free dog now. Hey, don't tell Jade, she's gonna want it. Especially after you showed that picture of him. But not this in front of the player. Your dogs are getting territorial in your house, man. You're gonna have to lay down the law. OBJ money. That's what we're spawning. Now we need to come up with the X. Where's Jade? I'll still ship them to you. I'm not telling you. She can't handle another dog as much as she wants it right now. Actually, she probably could. Okay, so this is going to be a variable since we want to change it. Okay. And then what am I doing here? So alarm 0 is spawning the unmoney if phase equals 0. How many stamps do I have to stick on them? It's by weight, isn't it? You might have to cover them in stamps. Actually, you might find this really funny since, like, I don't know. It's just a weird story I read. I read this book. It's actually up here. It's called Pills A Go-Go. And what it is it's a compiled book of this guy that made this, like, magazine in the 80s or 90s by himself. But the whole magazine was just him trying, like, prescription drugs and, like, all drugs or whatever. And it was really funny because there's a section in the book, and I can't find any verifiable, like, anything on this. I don't know where this guy got it from. But he was talking about when they were advertising, I think it was, like, Advil or something in South America, like, Brazilian countries. And I know you're probably, like, you're kind of lost at this point. You're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So they had to advertise pills in these, like, in essentially impoverished communities to try to get them to take Advil because they want to expand the market. And so what they did for advertising, since, like, how are these people in slums going to see any of this advertising? They would catch stray dogs, paint the logo on the dog, and then, like, set them free. And, like, he just kind of says this in the book as, like, just a thing that happened. Like, there's no information about it, but, like, logistically think about that, right? Like, imagine, like, some independent contractor working for Advil or something being like, oh, yeah, honey, I gotta go, like, on a business trip to South America. And she's like, oh, what are you doing? It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out when I get there. And then you get there and you just have, like, a van. And, like, I imagine it's just like a piece of paper stencil, like, cut out with, like, the logo on it. And then, like, you probably have, like, gloves, or, like, you're trying to, like, lure the dog into the van with food or something so you can, like, hold it while you spray paint or however they put it on the dog. Like, that must have been crazy. I cannot find, like, much on that, but that is so funny to me to imagine just some dude, like, catching dogs and painting the Aleve logo on it. Good morning, Hammer. It's night for me, but good morning for you, wherever you're at. I'm off to paint dogs. Oh, like art? No, like marketing. Yeah, it's like the best marketing strategy ever, because they talk about that familiarity concept with marketing. Like, you have to see an ad 5 times before you actually start to, like, process and consider it subconsciously. But yeah, look, you're completely other side of the world. But yeah, it's super great to just imagine a guy being like, yeah, but I have to go on a business trip. And then he gets back and he's got, like, bites on his arm or something. Or, like, maybe he had to get, like, a couple tetanus shots or something just because all the dogs have bit him while he's trying to advertise, like, pain relieving pills in another country. Oh, my goodness. It's PM, not AM. Live in Florida. Oh, dude, we're in the same time zone then because I'm in Michigan, right? So... dude came home with neon-colored fleece. Yeah, he had to have something, right? I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine what that must have been like. I want to, at someday, one of my goals is to see if that guy's still alive, find him, and, like, do an interview with him. Because I would love to know what exactly, like, why he even came to that. Oh, my God. Yep, same time zone. Dude, look, we're all the same here. Everybody's got late night, chillaxing. Just a nice, chill time. How long do I want to make this alarm? Oh, if alarm is less than 0. Have you seen the updates? I have not seen the updates You're going to have to tell me personally what the updates for Sortie are. What have you told me you were working on secret stuff that I can't tell. But what are we programming today? I am working on this level here. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, but because I don't want to talk myself out of being uninspired. But I'm working on that. So I got some things going on here. I'll reveal it slowly. Yeah, that level. You know that level. I was working on it last time. So let's see. We'll do it every half second. And then we need to define XX. Signed it in the year 2024. Good old days. The good old days. That's how it do be. I want them to fall here. That year like it was yesterday. It's like the old reminiscing. I remember that year like the day was yesterday. Just like it was. And it do be. It happened tomorrow, but it was yesterday. And then the day before was like yesterday too. Very routine orientated. 144.32. I think that's good. Good old time machines made it all easier. As soon as they created the time machine, every day started feeling like the same old day. All the novelty wore off pretty quickly. Your DeLorean. Oh no, we use test tubes. Gotta worry. Yeah, good luck, Jazz. I'm rooting for you. Make sure you, I don't know, prevent that somehow. Use the Caesar Milan technique of dog whispering to tell how discontent you are with the dog for being territorial. Yeah, we use test tubes, and if a fly got in, well, good luck. Don't want that happening. That could be a nightmare. Alright, unmoney. Okay, then we need some kind of drawing thing. So, draw. We want to draw text. Probably minus like 30 or something. Actually, I can do this better. What am I doing? XX. Just to make this less burdensome. We can move it to here. Oh. And we can just do like debt. I like debt. Let's use debt. I like the word for that. And then it's going to be a minus sign plus. Oh, actually, we're going to do S debt for string debt. Because actually, I think we need to keep track of debt. So let's say, what is the average house cost? Average house cost US. Holy crap, it's 500,000. Oof. Oh my god. Okay. That's a great starting point. While true, you forgot this. While true. Why do I need the while true? I don't get the programmer humor. I'm not a programmer. Wait, I can't do that. I can just do 500 and then, yeah, we'll do 500. It would be an infinite. Oh, got it. Sorry. Yeah, because true is always true. While true. Do that. I'm sorry I didn't get your joke. Because the program never to continue. I was too naive. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I've had yeah, feels bad, man. Yeah, Sag. No, I have, What was I gonna say? I have actually had a bunch of infinite loops on accident, and the game, yeah, it just freezes. So unfortunate for me, but funny. Okay, so we wanted to show the debt minus debt 500k. Sweet. Let's do. It's so common would just break when you make your conditional. Yeah, that makes sense. I think there's a draw set color. Let's do C red for now. We can change it later. I wanted to draw this text red. So it's going to draw S debt. It's going to draw that. It's going to draw that. And the K. I guess when someone tries to cheat, it just jumps to a while true. I was actually, so like, would jump off the bridge specifically. I try to do like a lot of, obviously you played it, but I try to do like a lot of the parodies of like the retro game stuff. I was debating on doing some kind of like mock, like the old games had that, copyright protection stuff, and some games had some pretty absurd copyright protection. And I know my game got pretty popular in China, and a lot of it was pirated. So it would be kind of funny if I designed some sort of actual copyright protection, but I'm not sure how I would do it. And I wouldn't necessarily want to punish them because I think that pirating is a good thing to a certain extent, especially as it enables people to get things. So I have to do like Mario retro games with like hidden secret levels. Yeah, I have some of those. I just have to define like what rewards I want to do, because I don't like. I have like a specific taste for rewards, and like I want to reward curiosity, but yeah, I have some thoughts about it, but I'll have to think about it more. I do like the Mario pipes thing. There are some of those secrets in here where it like brings you to a later level, but I wanted either something that subverts it or something else. I'm not sure yet. I gotta think about it. I have a lot of secret rooms though. They just don't have any reward in it other than finding the secret room, so there's kind of like no point to go to them. But I have a list of rewards that I like. It's just a matter of finding something that I feel is rewarding for me personally, and that, you know, at the end of the day, it just has to meet my thing. Do you have a dev menu that you turn on and off and shit? No, actually, I don't do any of that stuff. I started this project a long time ago. I've been working on it for 5 years now, and I didn't do that out front. I probably should do it at some point, or I should have done it from the outset, but I've changed a lot over time, so no, I don't have any in-game debug type stuff. Which is, it's just a bad move on my part. I will do it for the next. How do I test a level? I queue it up, and then if I need any debugging, I add the debugging in for just the level. So like if I need to see something, you know, happening, or like GameMaker has a built-in debugger that allows you to step through the code one by one, so it's not entirely necessary to have a debugger, but I don't have anything that, like, you know, the player, I turn on fly mode for the player or something like that. Yeah, I have my I have all the levels basically in level selection, and I made it dynamic. The version that you have on Steam right now isn't dynamic, but the version I have is dynamic. And so when I want to test a level, I just add it anywhere I want, and then I make a thing for it, and then I just go to it. I don't know if all of these levels specifically will be shipped when I do version 2.6. Yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you meant, like, I've seen debug menus where people have, like, you turn on fly hacks for your character, or you do stuff, whatever. Yeah, I kind of have a dev menu, I guess. Pics of the puppy damage are in Bruno's Discord. I do want to see those. That sounds hilarious. Let me hide the privacy first. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, like force levels. Yeah, I have that sort of thing. Damn, bro. Ripped up the carpet. Oof. That actually looks awful, bro. Is it just because you left the puppy out for, like, literally that hour you're talking about? That's terrible. That's a lot of suffering, dog. Your plants, yeah, man. Oof, look at them. They're suffering, dude. I feel bad for you. That's absolutely horrible. Literally an hour. Worse than I expected. Yeah, that is much worse than I expected too. That's absolutely terrible, dude. So I have a pixel font. We're gonna use that. That's what I was looking for. Font. Global. My bed was covered in dirt. Honestly, the dog was creative. Kind of creative. Suffering, but creative. Actually, no, this should work. Look at Jump Off the Bridge Discord General. Yeah, I saw that you posted like a meme or something in the other day. Did you remove it or something? We'll react live. That cat. Desperate. Oh, it wasn't professional. Well, now I really want to see it. Oh, but I get if you're on your I get it. If you're on your professional thing, you want to have that. Yeah, that makes sense. I get you. Oh, it's a stupid meme. DM it to me. I'll look at it on my own time. I was out on a walk in the woods barefoot when you sent it, and I didn't think to look because I wasn't expecting you to remove it. I think this is enough. I don't mind you looking at it. Oh, okay. Then I'll pull it up. Oh, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Sounds awesome. It does sound awesome, doesn't it, Mojo? How's your tooth doing, dude? After you got hit by that fence that attacked you? That committed a hate crime? How's that going? Are you alright? You still on the medication for numbing your mouth or what? I'm just gonna see if this works, I think. We're gonna try it. It's got debt. I just need it to display debt. Oh, actually, I should make the house actually collide with... Is that confusing? Still on antibiotics, gotcha. No pain meds. Well, that sounds rough. There you go. These are secret memes. That was actually pretty great, dude. That's glorious. That is... You have some... That sounds actually awful. I feel bad for that kid. Hopefully he survived. Hopefully all the stalls weren't blown out. Gotcha. We're gonna do if the heavy house exists. So if it exists with... Guy went Goku. Dude, he went more than Goku. He did a colon cleanse. That's what that was. So we're going to enter the heavy house, and then the heavy house is going to if place meeting obj on money, then var money equals... So we're going to grab the money. And then we're going to destroy the money. And then we're going to increase our debt by 1. Have I beaten the Lich King yet? I have not, dude. I got to start it back up. What did you add? Tell me what you added. I know you were working on your secret stuff, but what are you working on now? If money on money, get money, destroy money. Yeah, you like that? This is how Game Maker works. Inside my controller object, I'm seeing, does the heavy house exist? If it does, within the heavy house, if it's meeting unmoney, then I'm going to store money into a variable so that I can, within money, destroy money, because it's the only way you can destroy money. Bunch of new mobs. Awesome. Gotcha, dude. Things you suggested. Oh, sweet. I'm glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I was trying to, I felt like I worded it pretty well, so I'm glad you enjoyed the criticism for it. Because whenever the difficulty with, like, taking criticism from other people is they don't always, like, have the same vision for, like, what you're trying to implement. So projectile and attack animations. I think Drew's talking about the origin of the instance from where projectiles come from, because I think Drew wanted the projectiles to come from the person. He wanted to come from the person instead of in front of the person. But actually, I was having a conversation with Jade, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, obviously in game logic, I've seen a lot of the case where the projectile instance originates from the player. But as for, like, summoning magic, I kind of see, like, in movies it comes from hands and stuff. So I don't know. It just depends mechanically what you're trying to do. So we're increasing the debt. I think that works. Also, Drew, I love those bug bug art exhibit things you sent me. Those are amazing. That must have been super cool to see. It doesn't appear near the hand or the player and doesn't detonate on contact with the mob. Ah, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I think it was like in front or something, wasn't it? Let's run it. Let's see if I'm doing this right. Destroys money, increases debt. Debt number should increase. Fixed. There you go. He did it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I had a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I really liked the geometric shapes and patterns, especially the butterfly one. It was like fractal. It was really interesting. Himmer says he thinks he fixed it. He changed the X and Y origin of where the spell comes from. Instantly. Now we just have to compile. We wait. Did everything that I imagined in my head and tried to manifest through programming actually work? We shall see. We can only hope. And then what do I have on my to-do list? Negative money. We're kind of in the process of that. Corpo. Obstacles. Money. Oh, I want a money burn too. But then the player could walk on it. That's kind of funny. Cheap viewers. Man, I need to get a mod. Drew, I might make you mod. Nobody wants fake, cheap viewers. I want to cultivate them from within. Great janitor work. I'm giving you power, Drew. Bad for leaving. I got you. Can I even do this from here? I don't know if I can. I don't know. I've had it up a few times and I haven't had a problem with it, so. I'll go to my mod tools, though. However I get to that. Creator dashboard. Stream manager. Oh, there we go. No, you're good, man. I was just making a joke. I could pin it, though. No. Do I even have mod powers for my own stream? I don't feel like I do. It can happen. I'll keep that in mind then. Thank you for the warning. I don't know how to ban. I'm going to be honest. I'm too new. This person's trolling. I guess I can, Interesting. Oh, show mod icons. There we go. I figured it out. I'm surprised that isn't on from default. Okay, it is removed. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Sweet. Another one bites the dust. All right, let's see if this... Oh, wrong level. Let's see if this works. Okay, the number... I think is there, but it's behind the house. Oh. Okay. People can be dicks into it just to get streamed. Wow, dude, that's horrible. Unknown object.det not set before reading it. Object birding controller. I was doing something kind of funky, I'm not gonna lie. And this is in the step event. If the heavy house exists with it, if meeting on money, instance place on money, with money, destroy money. Oh, obviously that makes sense. Because the house doesn't have the debt. The other object has the debt. Got it. So, a little confusing, but where am I drawing this? Minus 30? Let's do like minus 100. It's probably pretty tall. It kind of reminds me of those streamers where they'll have like content that they react to, like You Laugh, You Lose or some other challenge like that, and people will send in stuff to purposely get them banned or some kind of message or some kind of shock value thing, which is kind of interesting because that stream together thing was that one of the benefits of it they were talking about is that you won't get penalized for something somebody else says on their stream. Which, I mean, should have just been the default anyways. Like, why are you banning people if they accidentally, like, show something on stream when the intention wasn't to? I mean, that just seems silly. Okay, I have a number font, don't I? I thought I had, like, a large scale... Oh, maybe it's the title font. That's what I'm looking for. What font do I have here? Main menu font. That's what I want. I like that. It looks thicker. I want a thicker font. Looking good. We can probably lower it by 40 pixels. We'll see what that looks like. And let's see if that bug still exists. So it's going to collide with the house. And it increases in debt. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay. We're making progress. Abound. Okay. Oh yeah, baby. That is looking good. But obviously because it's turned by like 50 something degrees, the X value is slightly off. So we probably want to make it less. So it's more center? I don't know. Oh, it's because... Yeah, the alignment. I think we can change that. Draw, set. Isn't it like... Oh, H align. I have to look at this variable. I don't remember what it does. FA center. That's what we can do. FA center... Then we can change it just in case I don't have it set somewhere else. Let's set it back to left oriented next time. That way we don't have to change the X. I like that. The collision hitbox for the house actually has to be bigger. I would prefer if it was like, I don't know, that. And then let's run that back, see what that looks like. I probably should sort this stuff at some point. The burden of things increasing. For my next book club, I'm reading The Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, which I have read a lot of, but man, this translation sucks. I told the guys to get a different translation. The new translation, absolutely terrible. I do not like it. It removes... I don't know what it does. It feels like it removes some of the luster of some of the word choices. It's like not as eloquent sounding. It's just kind of... I think maybe to make it more accessible to people, they tried to modernize it. But I think that modernization loses some of the... both the antiquity of it as well as some of the spirit of it. Kind of terrible. I'll have to compare translations, so I'm going to get the Penguin translation and try it. I kind of like Stoicism. I like elements of it, so I'm curious to see what my book club thinks of it. They did not like the last book, which is The Righteous Mind by Jonathan Haidt. They were haters. Which made the discussion fun, though. Oh, yeah. That looks much better. Center align. The negative money falls. Perfect. The cost of the house increases. The player loses money. Amazing. Exactly what I'm looking for. Now I can probably make the... There's a lot we can do. There do be a lot. Yeah, we can do quite a bit with this. We can make the... So negative money works. It could be debt affects weight of house struggle. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do this. Obstacles, though. The obstacles should probably just be the money. Oh, we need to do a throw house as well. Oh, next I should probably do from other origin. Try to get that working. Yeah, we can make that work. I think I have the origin code. I'm just going to understand it more. I found a script for it. So let's see here. We want to go... for some reason I opened my sprites in here. Okay. Yeah, we gotta play with how this looks. I should show animation. I need like a draw event, I think. I should probably play with the code a bit. Somebody posted it. I was going to use it, but I got to understand it a little bit more. It is, unfortunately, there we go. I think it should work. Yeah, okay. So let's try to see what this person did here to draw from another origin. So they're creating a surface, Setting target. What does that do? Setting the color to blue, obviously. Setting the H align and V align to 1, which I'm assuming is the first option, which is left. Warp a spin, yeah. Then they're drawing a circle. And the circle has XY, a radius, and then 1 pixel outline. And they're drawing the text, and then they're resetting the target, but then creating a sprite from the surface. And it has an X origin and a Y origin set in there. Okay. So what if we made the origin of this 64 by 64? What would that? It doesn't change anything. Okay. I don't know what texture set interpolation means. I have no idea. But we're drawing a circle. And we're drawing a sprite with the script. And this is the script. So it's taking the sprite, the subimage of 0. The O is the new origin. So if I change this to 64, it's going to be in the middle, right? Yeah. And then it's giving it an X and Y in this window. And then I'm assuming this is a scale. So if I change this to 1, this is just going to be the normal scale. Okay. And then this code takes all of these things. Oh. The new origin is the original X minus sprite get X offset. I don't know what that does. I'm assuming it does some kind of math. Q. Argument Q is 0. Sprite. Oh, it's taking this sprite for some reason and getting the X offset. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. And then it's doing some kind of equation. It's taking the scale of it, multiplying it by length or X. Okay, there's something happening there, but I don't think I need to understand this necessarily to do what I'm trying to do here. Minus SY. What is SY? Oh, that's just the Y scale. It kind of looks like a familiar equation. Minus 90. So it's doing, oh, it actually looks like it's doing trigonometry or something. Because that's 90, I'm assuming it's trying to make like a right triangle, and then it's, I've seen this shit before. Maybe it's like taking the hypotenuse. This looks like a hypotenuse equation. I don't know. It's doing something. And then it's scaling it up to the X and Y scale. And yeah, the new X is going to be whatever the length of those things are. I think it's just the distance equation. What is that called? In distance. God, I don't even know. Distance equation. Coordinates. Oh yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, between 2 points. That's exactly what it is. Okay. Okay. I think we can work with that. Let's see if we can do it, though. So right now, the problem that we're having is when we jump, the origin of the house is not where I want it to be. That's basically where it is. It's in the center. And I would like it to be in the corner. And I don't think that'll change the collision of it. I guess let's try it. So do we have a phase that denotes, yeah, kill player. So if phase does not equal, well, we can just do phase equal 1. Do I have a 0 phase? I do. Okay, let's do if phase does not equal 2. We're going to draw self normally. And then we're going to do else if phase equals 2. Draw SCR draw origin extended. So the sprite is going to be sprite index, image index, and then we're going to come up with a new origin. Then we're going to give it the X and Y as well. What's the X and Y in this one? Oh, it's just where it is in the room. Okay. We can work with that. So the new origin of the house instead of 4668, I should write that down. Instead of 4668, I want it to be here, which is 7893. Okay. And then can we just, let's do that. Okay, so the new origin is going to be 7893 X, Y. It's just, I'm going to just do the actual variables. Oh, image angle, image blend, image alpha, just in case any of those change. And I'm just going to run it to see what this looks like. I'm not sure it'll work. We shall see. I have a feeling it's going to like jump and I'm going to have to account for the difference in the position. But we'll see. Yeah, that is exactly as I expected. But it is drawing from the new point. It just needs to modify the X and Y differently. So I think we actually have to account for the difference that we've created and have it draw there. It should have gravity though. Why isn't it falling lower? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Let me look at that one more time. I guess technically it meets the ground. Well, this shouldn't change that, but it might. Because I'm drawing from length dir. So the actual collision of the house might still be on the ground, which is why it doesn't fall. So then that means that the new XY of the house has to account for the XY shift of the house. Let's try it. Let's do, so we have the new origin. If we take the difference of the numbers, so 78 minus 46, and then add that, I'll just put them in first and then I'll think about it. And 93 minus 68. So this actually is going to depend on the image X scale. So let's do that. Okay. I want to see if that does anything. I don't know if it will specifically because I'm like drawing it from a triangle of length dir, which is, what does this do again? Yeah. Get the X component of lens pixel starting point in direction dir. If you imagine a circle, yeah, got it. Okay. Some sort of trigonometry that I'm not. Ooh, we got some problems. Oh yeah, I need one. The problems are that I need one more closing parenthesis. Simple. It's on the ground. Interesting. We actually need it to be where the player is, though. So we actually... So the X needs to include the player's X. It's on the ground, though. That's very interesting. I have a complex math problem I need to solve here, or figure out a better way to do it. It's still confusing, but it kind of works. Now, would this all be eliminated much more simply if I just changed, if I created a duplicate sprite with a different origin point? That adds a whole nother sprite to my game. But it might be much more easier to manipulate it. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to make it so that the player, when he jumps and the house falls on him, the point is where the player is. But obviously the X and Y coordinate of the house is here, And I'm using a script to draw the X and Y origin here. And then so I need to take this origin here and make it not do this. Hold on, I gotta see what we have so much to do, so much to figure out. Let's change this to a thing so that I can turn it off and see what that looks like again. Oh, I forgot to turn off the Y. Okay. But all of this would probably be easier if I just simply duplicate the sprite. I could make a crushed version of it, like a crunched house that's suffering some damage, so it wouldn't be totally wasteful. And then I could change the origin. That might be what I end up doing. Yeah, see, this brings it too high, because it's drawing at the new origin from the origin. Let's try the other strat. Let's duplicate the sprite and try it from there. So we're going to duplicate this. Heavy house. Broken. Let's see if this just makes it easier. For now, let's just add some cracks on it. I'm going to actually sprite real stuff later, but just so I know the difference between the two, I'll do some cracks. They look pretty good. Okay. There's something going on there. That'll work for now. So we have broken house. So now what we're going to do is we can ignore this code. Then when the house is falling down, if rotate equals true, where is rotate equal true at? Who says rotate is true? Oh, I guess it's just here. Can't find it. Can't find it. Yeah, I didn't even see it. It was right in front of me. Heavy house broken. I just want to see what happens. We're going to run it back. Wait, did I even change the origin of it? I don't think I did. Hold on. Origin is the corner. I'm going to have to actually account for the new X and Y coordinate. Most likely. But I want to see how far it is off. It probably will be that same number again, though, that I have already determined. It'll be the 32.25 difference. I'm assuming it will go up and left. Now that I'm changing the sprite, but we'll see. Oh, because I have a draw event and I do not have draw self, it does not draw the self. Okay. Noted. That's looking much better. Yeah, I gotta change that X and Y. Oh, that is so much better. Why didn't I just do that from the start? I was trying to do some origin changing finagling, but that's so stupid. X plus equals something, Y plus equals something. We gotta make this only run once, otherwise we're gonna have a problem. So it only run if RT equals false, and then it's gonna equal true. And then what are we gonna do here? We're gonna add, I guess we're gonna add 32 on the X. And then we're gonna add 25 on the Y. We're gonna see what happens. See where we're at. We're close. So actually we don't want to add the X, it looks like. I'm not sure why that is. Oh, because the end step is bringing it to the player. That's got to be what it is. Right? It's a phase equals 1. It's got to be something like that. I'm like somehow getting the player X in. Oh no, there's nothing in phase 1. That is weird. I guess even, I don't know if I understand that, but we'll roll with it. Okay. Why is there a jump? I'm adding 25. Huh? Changes the sprite. Maybe I need to subtract 25. I don't know. I'll do it. See if that does anything. Does not make sense in my head, but we can fumble our way through it. No. That was much more than 25 pixels tall. Oh, it's running a ton. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm pretty sure it is plus 25. Mistakes were made. Yeah, because it's going to be moving temporarily, right? Well, it might equal... I mean, does that even work? I don't know if that does work. Yeah, that doesn't work. I gotta figure that out. You know, I see a house sprite and I assume this is some RPG game. I did not expect a whole little man carrying a building. Yeah, I kind of got this, like, strange idea and I'm trying to make it work. I promise it's interesting. At least it's interesting to me. Yeah, you see the house sprite, you're like, oh man, this looks like an isometric game. What's going on here? Yeah, that's probably going to happen a lot, I will imagine. It's not gonna be it'll be random what I end up using the sprite for. I'll give you another example too. Let me see if I can think of one. Um, Also, how are you doing today? Tell me about your day. I'm gonna call you Carol. Carol Jartur. Carol Jatar. I have my curiosity was piqued. Permasmug. Yes. Just woke up. Great. Sounds like a good start to a day. I have a lot of really weird levels, dude. I'm gonna be honest. So this is my game, Jump Off the Bridge. It's a pretty simple game. Your goal is to jump off the bridge every level, but it gets progressively weirder. Some of the levels are, and you can pick up and throw stuff. But some levels are kind of like, you know, weirder. Some levels are a lot to deal with. 100 bucks cheaper than 10 making my shitty game. Dude, hype. Always supporting game devs. Go for it, dude. I got a math level too. We gotta do math. I'm working on a lot of weird stuff. You ever play Qbert? I got Qbert going on here. I have to do some kind of programming thing that I'm not excited for this because I want to get it done, but I got a lot of weird stuff. But yeah, the burden of house. It's actually great. It's a lot of fun. I like to be able to express myself in strange ways, so it'll be super cool. I've been working on an update for like 2 years now, so yes, it is a lot of fun to make. There are no limits. At least when I was starting to make game dev stuff, it was like at least Jump Off the Bridge was like an answer to, for me, I had like a big scope for things I wanted to do, and then I shrunk the scope really small and limited my design, and that ended up breeding a lot of creativity. I imagine you probably come across that concept a lot. I don't know what your proficiency with creativity or things like that is, but that's a pretty common sentiment, is the more you constrain yourself, the more imagination you have. And I think that's relatively true. In general, with the creative field, but okay, so this is not working here. We need to remove that. Yeah, tell me about your game, dude. Let's play it. Mostly an artist. That's the same for me. I went to college and then I learned some programming and then I learned how to make stuff in Game Maker, and then with tutorials I was off on my way and then I had a game. So I believe in you. Whatever you're doing, go for it. You can learn everything from YouTube. You making like a platformer or something? 3D? You got a Unity game? What are you doing, dude? Tell me about it. But don't talk yourself out of being uninspired. Just give me the bare bones. After you brush your teeth, of course. You got a busy day ahead of you. I want to limit this so that this only runs once. So we're going to have some kind of and command. Struggle to understand the inventory so much. Yeah, inventory can be confusing. Are you using some kind of array? The array stuff can be kind of confusing. I've seen different things. Sometimes it helps to draw it out. Or like I have a whiteboard that I'll sketch stuff on, because seeing it physically helps a lot for me personally. If you're more on the artistic side, then I imagine that might be the same for you. But yeah, the array things. Yeah, the array is confusing. It's like, the best way I can imagine it is a bunch of stacked boxes. That's how I do it. The simple version. Yeah, the one-dimensional array, where it's like a bunch of boxes in a line. But then the two-dimensional arrays is it's like a bunch of stacked boxes. And then the array is like the address for those boxes is kind of how I view it. You're like, oh, what box is at 01? Well, that's the second box in the first row. You take like an Excel spreadsheet and map them all out. I live in the matrices. Everything could be solved with a matrix. Yeah, that's true for you, Drew. Live in them. Yeah, I showed him that Qbert level, man, and he just hit me with a bunch of matrices. Make something more visual, just inspired by my favorite series. That's cool. What is your favorite series? Visual stuff is cool too. The overworld of it. Gotcha. Chibidoki smug. Some great emojis. So we have an if rotate equals false. But the problem is that still runs a bunch. Heroes of Might and Magic. That's the video game series where it's like a top down where you're like battling other people and it's kind of like an RTS but not, right? Or is that the one that's like a dungeon crawler? I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh yeah, I was right. Yeah, I remember Heroes of Might and Magic, dude. I have all of those games, yes. They're like some of the most unique series of games ever, dude. They're so strange. I was thinking of doing a LAN party with them eventually. They're super unique. I got them on GOG. You like buy your units, you like move each turn. It's kind of fascinating. CDs for 3 and 4. Gotcha. That's crazy. Yeah, I never had the CDs. It was something I played later in life. I had like CDs for like Sid Meier's Civilization 3 and man, there was this other one. It was like, I think it was just called Conquest or something HD or whatever. That was a really bizarre game. All those like war RTS type games. Pretty fascinating. And welcome back, Hammer. My brother used to invite people home and they would play him. That sounds awesome, dude. I love the old days of those old computers and everybody LAN partying. Last LAN party I did was for Valheim. Man, I need to play some old games. I saw people playing Sacred Gold together, and I kind of wanted to do that. I bought that recently. I also am like a huge fan of all the Soldak Entertainment games. Like they have like Din's Curse, which is like a kind of like a Diablo dungeon crawler sort of thing, but you can play with like any number of people. Those sort of things. I think that would be pretty funny. They got some sci-fi ones, which was kind of unique because it's called Drox Operative. And the game is unique because all the AI is playing a 4X strategy game while you're like just kind of like an interloper that can like espionage and like break down all the other stuff. You're like a gun for hire essentially while they're playing a 4X game. And the only way you win is if you ally with somebody and they win the game. Or you get like an economic victory or some other stuff. It's kind of a unique concept. I've never seen anybody make something as bizarre as that. The idea of an AI playing a 4X while you're just like running around doing like an asteroid spaceship shooter. Pretty unique. Let's see it. From a creative standpoint the most. Yeah, what do you like most about the creative standpoint? I like that each of the races are unique. I like the weird inventory system they have for the like heroes. And I also like that it's kind of like a board game. Yeah, but barely any games are made like that anymore. Yeah, nothing like, dude, there is not as much experimentation anymore except for indie stuff, which is why I'm glad that the accessibility towards making games has lowered significantly. So like anybody can, with enough dedication, obviously, can sit down, make a game, and put it out there, given enough time. So, unique factions and even their unique heroes. Yeah, that makes sense. I could definitely see why you like that aspect of it. Especially from an artist perspective. There's a lot of choice, I guess, is the best way to put it. You're constantly like, oh man, who could I get? Who am I going to hire into my army? How am I going to use them? They're like unique board game units. That's the best way I would describe it. That game is cool, man. So, yeah, I'm not going to press you on your idea for it because, like I said, I don't want to talk you out of being uninspired, but go for it. I believe in you. Do it. Nothing is stopping you. And the only thing stopping me is figuring out how I want to do this code block. Troglodyte heroes that are tacticians and mages and minotaurs as well can be mages. That's actually really funny. I did not know that. That's great. The idea of a minotaur being a mage is hysterical to me. I know I have to modify this X value, but I do not know how I want to do it. It is truly more progressive than anything new that can come up with. I've seen a lot of weird, unique indie games. Like for example, I got recently Window Kill. I thought this game was very unique in concept. It takes like the old Windows style games, but creates a shooter, and you have to like move around windows. I thought that was really ingenious work. Like, it's a fascinating concept to have like a bunch of disparate windows that you're doing stuff with. Really cool game. I haven't played like enough of it, but I saw like a lot of demos on it. Yeah, it's Poggers. I remember this. Yeah, it's super neat, dude. Super cool idea. I've seen some innovative stuff. I also like oh man, there's like another bizarre game. It's like it looks literally just like an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, manipulating windows is probably really difficult. This game is literally just like having an Excel spreadsheet, but it's like an idle game almost. And you have to like study magic, and then it's basically just min-maxing the game. But I thought that was pretty unique that somebody would make something as bizarre as that. I only put 35 minutes into it because I didn't get too deep into it yet, but a very unique concept. The indie market is booming. You'll learn how to manipulate windows if you want to do it. Just set your mind to it. You'll figure it out. I believe. Gotta save yourself first. Yeah, I do. Gotta save myself first. So let's see. My problem with this code block is that technically rotate is false. Oh, but you're not meeting the ground. So does that work? That might actually just work. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. So if rotate equals false and you haven't met the ground yet, then it technically only runs once. Because you're only going to meet the ground once and rotate's only going to be false once. So there's some other X, Y value thing that's happening that I need to modify. Stay too long in the auto-clicker instrumental game and you'll get sucked in. Yeah, dude, that's the problem. Which is, it's kind of like a balance for those games because, yeah, you like want to make progress, but the game actively like hurts you from the progress. Yeah, right, the brushing. Yeah, it's like, yeah, idle games are a very unique new genre. There's parts of me that I've found games that I really like Luton. That's a really awesome game. Because it's like Clutter the game. I absolutely adore it. Like, look at this menu, dude. This whole thing is inventory systems. And you, over the course of the game, you have multiple heroes, and then you unlock abilities for them, like building an RPG character, and then you send them on quests that they repeat over and over again, and then you manage their meticulous inventory of tons of stuff. I put so much time into this game. Yeah, 152 hours. Some of that obviously is idle, because it's an idle game, but man, that game was a blast. Some other idle games are much more punishing with the actions that you can do, but I found that one to be pretty interesting, and they had a lot of systems in place where you could trash bad loot pretty simply, so it didn't feel like it was wasting a lot of my time. I think it would be difficult for me to go back and play it after having not played it for like a couple months or whatever, but I think I could pick it up quite quickly. It's just a lot of micromanaging, which makes the game fun and engaging. But also a big time sink. Okay, so I obviously have a Y problem here. This house is going way too tall. But the X value is perfect. Now the question is, why is... Okay, so I'm changing the sprite. And that's lifting the house. That's got to be what it is. So I got to figure out what the Y value is for the... Actually, I should be able to do that relatively easy. Let's take it here. If I take... actually, let's look in the object. My image angle for it is 60 degrees. So theoretically, if I just take the house, rotate it 60 degrees, and then I manually, well, I gotta change this to -60. And then I manually find right where, because theoretically this code is running as soon as this corner hits the ground. So like wherever this Y value is, that's what I want. So the Y value is 120. So maybe if I just set the Y value directly to 120, that will be fine. We're going to see. It probably won't work. So now I need to, let's set this back to 0. And let's see if my artistic vision is true. If I'm manifesting this correctly. If I believe in myself. And if it works, we're going to play some games. That's what I think is going to happen. What are you doing? Why do you disobey me? Okay, something is setting the Y value incorrect. Oh no, sorry, I have it wrong. I gotta do this again. So the house, I figured it out. The house needs the broken house sprite. Yes. And then we have to change this to 60 degrees. Then this has to touch the ground. And then that's the Y value we need. It is 160. That makes sense. So then we're going to change this. We're going to go to the house. Change it back to this. And then inside of the house, we're going to set the Y value after it touches the ground to 160. So that's another 40 pixel difference. And that makes sense because the house is at an angle, so the hypotenuse is longer than it would originally be. So I was setting it based on the difference between it being not rotated, but obviously it's a rectangle. And if the origin is center, and we're changing the origin to the right-hand most side, lower right corner, and then we're rotating it, it's going to be much different. I actually would have to use that equation I pulled up earlier in order to solve that problem. Wait, hold on, go. But yeah, one of the Minotaur heroes in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 started doing magic because they were a coward and a weak Minotaur. That is a great plot. The idea that they're afraid to confront things despite their innate strength, and then they just turn to like ranging from a distance. Oh, perfect. Dude, this works great. Okay, I need to change the acceleration rate at which the house falls, so we'll have to add acceleration to it so that it actually looks like it's falling properly, rather than this slow descent that gets closer. As it gets closer to 0, it slows down, which is obviously unnatural. But this looks great. Oh, we actually have a little bit of an X shift, though. And here's Might and Magic 5. The Minotaurs are slaves now. Somehow. That's... yeah, that's really strange. That is very bizarre. That's the plot between them, I imagine, right? They become weak in 3, and then they're like, actually, they can be enslaved as well. What is the X shift difference? It's probably... we probably need to change the slight... can we X plus equals... It sounds like you played all the Heroes of Might and Magic games, dude. I'm interested to see what you end up coming up with. Definitely, if you remember, send me a copy of your demo. I will play it. I will let you know how it is. Here's Might and Magic 3 could be heroes, and their unites could be champions. Interesting. That is unique. I did not know all the intricate differences between all of them. I think I've only played 3, but I have them all. I just haven't played all of the games yet. I think, yeah. Seems more like a reset. Interesting. A reset towards like the original design, or a reset towards like a new and different design? Do I need to move it by 32? It didn't really feel like 32 pixels. I think I'm going to have to end up guessing the pixels, unfortunately. Reset the fantasy. I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Resetting the fantasy. Still have the same game elements. Yeah, I did notice they were similar game elements, but yeah, maybe the theme changed slightly. Or they reset the theme, I should say. I have noticed with different media that there's like this, there's obviously a certain amount of Tolkien influence on how their fantasy world works. And how homogenized it is with things like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that as time goes on, whatever the most popular and prevailing forms of fantasy are. Okay, we actually want maybe the opposite for our X, because that disparity between it falling down seemed bigger. And it's only really good because other design elements are elevated pretty well, but overall it feels more generic in its feel. Interesting. Yeah, I would say the fantasy elements I noticed from it, I could definitely see how you're saying they're generic. I felt like there was a uniqueness to the type of monsters they use, because I found like some of the stuff was like bizarre. Like it was a mix of like almost like an Arabian theme. Yeah, took everything from Heroes of Might and Magic, made it generic fantasy. Gotcha. Yeah, they didn't have like djinns and like things like that. Oh, from Heroes of Might and Magic 5. Oh, changed my language accidentally. The question is do we got to do more or less? Let's try 15. See what that looks like. Yeah. For Heroes of Might and Magic 5 from earlier series. Got it. It made it generic fantasy from Heroes of Might and Magic 5 from earlier series. Okay, I understand what you're saying. But it was creative enough. Now looking back, I do question it a little. You question how creative it was for the time? How independent it was of generic fantasy of the time? Is that what you're saying? Okay, that's too big. We need to go less. Change number. Compile. Oh, 5 pixels is perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Oh, actually, it's almost perfect. I think that works. Because you're now realizing there's no Minotaur heroes and now occupied by Dark Elves for some reason. That's a unique change. I do quite like Minotaurs. I put a Minotaur in this game, but I was thinking of adding more. This looks pretty good, but I actually have to change the det draw location as well because the sprite changes. Maybe I should just draw the det from the player. The player will be consistent. Dwarves that were a part of elves are now their own things. Yeah, so they split some of the stuff, they segmented it, they removed some of the other fantasy elements I could see. That makes sense. Well, in order to preserve the integrity of drawing the number in the correct location, if obj heavy house dot index equals spr heavy house, These are the numbers we're going to use. But else, we're going to use something different. So now it's more generic and it's more humanoid leaders and heroes. Very racist. Yeah, I like the animals, honestly. I also like the weird Arabian influence I believe some of the stuff had. And there was also like a lot of griffins and dragons and stuff. I'm sure the dragons are the same. Fortress was my favorite faction. Or the lizardmen. Yeah, the lizardmen. I forgot about the lizardmen. Okay, so we need to change the distance of this to the new origin. So we're going to go minus. We're going to go 32 to the left, 25 up. Okay, let's do it. 32. And what did I say? 25 up? 25 up. Almost every faction has their version of dragon. Okay, I thought the dragons were retained. I just didn't remember. This actually is dependent on the image X scale, though. How often do you play Heroes of Might and Magic, man? You sound like a super fan. That's exciting to see somebody so passionate about an older game. Thank you for the bless you, Mojo. I appreciate that. Thank you for the bless you. Carol Jarter. Carol Jarter. Not often. That's very funny. For how much you know about the game, you're not playing this day in, day out. Come on, man. You're like the #1 supporter, dude. You're making me want to play it. I can feel it radiating off of you. The recent strategy I played was Disciples 2, actually. I have not tried Disciples 2, but I was curious about it. I was thinking at some point. 3 years ago. That's a long time ago. Hey, hear me out. You're an artist. I'm assuming you're a gamer too, right? What's the last game you played? You gotta draw. I get it. As an artist myself, I understand. I often find that there needs to be a balance between the consumption of art and the creation of art. Because like you can get a lot of inspiration from your consumption of art, and that could help refine your ideas for what you want to do. So you have to balance consuming and, well, essentially destroying as in wasting time. Potentially. It may not be a waste of time, obviously, if you're, eventually getting something. You can take inspiration from those. Projectiles fix. Hey, yo, good on you for fixing the projectiles. Honestly, it's a cool fan art I saw for the series that revived my passion. That's actually awesome. That's cool that fan art did that. Also, congrats on the projectiles being fixed, dude. Gotta let Drew know. Adam at Batman. What is my problem here? I'm drawing. Wait. Event incorrect. Define. Expecting the number. Draw line. Disciples 2 was also fun and inspiring. That makes sense. I could see that. X equals sign. Oh, it's because I don't have an image X scale. This should be the house's image X scale, which is kind of confusing. Yeah. This still doesn't feel right, though. It didn't look right. I wonder why that is. I mean, the difference between the two numbers is... Oh, maybe it's so simple yet cool, but at the same time, there's also some minor complexities there as well that make it compelling. You're talking about Disciples 2, or are you talking about in the fan art that you felt inspired by? I think you're talking about Disciples 2. Because it's quite a refined game, I felt, from my looking at it. Yeah, Disciples 2. Okay, gotcha. I'm following along. Incorrect type. Burden controller, draw text, SS a step. Expecting a number. And of course, the creative direction is poggers. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially, I feel from what I've seen of Disciples 2, it gives the players a lot of choice. So there's a lot of creativity with regards to that. Oh, I get it. I think I just needed a plus sign there because it was being pedantic. A little meticulous about my adding of the negative 32. We'll see. It feels nicer when your subhuman promotes to a zombie and then a skeleton and eventually into a reaper of some kind. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see the. You're talking about the transformation of each of those steps and the creative direction of it. Yeah, I could see that. I also heard there was like a lot of different strategies with regards to like your builds. Like I heard of somebody setting traps in like barrels and throwing them or something, or like picking up a bunch of barrels. It kind of reminded me of some of the aspects of RPGs that were more open and free. Okay, so my number is not in the same location. There are barrels. Yeah, I thought there was like some kind of barrels or something in Disciples 2 that you could like. I remember reading like it was so long ago, it was a Reddit post or something about either making barrels explosive, setting them on fire, picking them up, putting things in them, or some kind of trap thing to like troll his teammates. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something about barrels. That's all I remember. So maybe my memory's bad. It's possible. I have not played the game, so. Or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game. Dude, I think I was thinking of Divinity Original Sin. Divinity Original Sin 2. I thought you said, yeah, yeah, dude. I thought you were talking about Divinity 2. I was like, I haven't played Divinity 2, but everybody talks about it. Yeah, I was talking about that. I've seen Disciples, though. I haven't played that either. I honestly don't know enough about Disciples, to be frank. I'm pretty sure I own it, though. It looks like another Heroes of Might and Magic. Or at least Heroes of Might and Magic inspired in some capacity. I was thinking the wrong game this whole time. Silly me. I was thinking of the hit RPG Divinity Original Sin 2. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm trying to fix the text. I'm trying to program a town screen. Like Heroes of Might and Magic Disciples. Yeah, you're talking about the it's kind of like an overworld look, and you have all the buildings, and then you upgrade the buildings, and then you hire units from the buildings and things like that. That's step one to Heroes of Might and Magic. Step two is the game board. But I guess once you get all that stuff done, you'll have like kind of an inventory or something. And like you'll have the units saved that you're taking in and out of the city. So that kind of eliminates a lot of stuff. What are you doing it in? Godot, Unity, Game Maker, something like that? and the other overworld elements. Maybe I'll do some elements. I'll do strategy once I realize I understand inventories. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, don't get dizzy now. You'll get it. Oh, you're doing Game Maker. Okay, sweet. We're Game Maker bros, dude. Yeah, there's a ton of tutorials on Game Maker, so you just gotta find one that resonates with you on inventories, and then it should be simpler. Or at least you can work it into your thing. Maybe I should make it from the player. I honestly like the idea of... because it would be more centered, I think. It would also solve my problem with the sprites. Sometimes I feel like the best tutorials are language gated. Well, you seem pretty good at English from talking with you here. Or do you mean like there are, like, I mean, what other Game Maker tutorials are there? Do you mean like is there like a big subset of foreign Game Maker tutorials? Their code should still be in English, but there are non-English ones? Huh, I didn't think there were. I mean, I saw like the biggest people I saw for doing tutorials in English are like Heartbeast. Is it Shane or Sean Spalding? I don't remember if they changed their name or something. And there's a couple other people. They make quite a bit of them. A little older, but older tutorials, I mean, for like Game Maker 1 sometimes, but you can still find them. I should do player Y minus 100 and see where we're at. I want to see what that looks like. Because the player X is kind of centered. I would rather draw it above the player. And the house is going to move. So I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, yeah. I know, but I haven't learned from them yet, so I should either find something new or just fiddle around until I get it. Haha, shrug left. Shrug right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if I had any advice, it would just be play around. That's probably the best thing to start with. Considering I struggle with tutorials, I'll just fiddle around. Yeah, dude, fiddling is the way to go. Pull out your fiddle, start strumming it, see if you can make something with it. And the best way when I metaphorically think of how I do things, I'll like see a tutorial, and then I kind of just add like one thing to my toolbox whenever I see like a script or how somebody does or approaches a problem, basically. And that's like another thing I can use. Because I found there's a lot of ways you can do things with programming, so I'm sure you know or you'll figure it out. Especially Game Maker. It's much easier to deal with programming-wise. This honestly looks pretty good. I'm pretty content with this. We made some progress. I was yapping a lot, but we made progress. What do I want to play next? What do I want to do next? I think... So I got some options here. I could continue my Elden Ring grind. I could continue my research on casual games with a target market of women. The one with the W. You want to see window kill? I could try window kill. The one with the W. Unless you mean the women one. I gazed past it. Oh, World of Sword. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you got. Got it. If you want a game for women, you need shirtless buff man. I don't. I mean, that's obviously what. Yeah, dude, I'm slow today, Hammer. Yeah, that while loop thing you sent me earlier, completely passed. Yeah, grinding Swordia is an option. It is always an option. I got another message I gotta delete. So many cheap viewers. Wait, you fixed it with men? That's great. Shirtless buff men. I actually have a lot of shirtless buff men in Jump Off the Bridge, dude. That's like one of the main draws. I'll show you. Let me compile this for you, buddy. No, there goes my streaming career. Now in shambles. Ah, man. It's a shame. Yeah, get free viewers that day. Now you're just trolling me. I'm going to leave it up, Hammer. They'll know you're lying. Or advertising my stream, I guess. If they look at it. Yeah, look at it. I got buff Matt hair. Actually, I'll give you the whole experience. If you haven't seen them, this is what my game is known for. The buff shirtless time wizard himself. And every time you lose, you gotta restart. He looks just like Drew. Except not like, yeah. Have to be big detailed sprites, you're right. I do have the hard mode time wizard, which, to be fair, does have closer up buff men. But you're right, they could be more detailed for the ladies. Could be much more detailed. Yeah, for you. Yeah, for your physique that you're cultivating. That's what you're talking about. That's what Mojo's looking for, dude. He's looking for the men. Need a quick dating game mode. Honestly, I was considering something like that. I have a, I was gonna do like a manga comic at some point. I'm gonna refine the concept. Do I still have it in? Yeah, I do have it here. I was doing some kind of like manga level thing. So I was testing like teleporting between panels. Obviously these gaps need to close a lot. But yeah, doing some kind of dating sim game would be a fun level. I have a lot of weird stuff. Including math. To teach the kids math. But obviously this level still needs much more pain than it currently has. It doesn't have enough pain. So yes. Bro, did I just see like several numbers spawn in for that? Yeah, yes, I have like a huge amount of numbers that I just have on the ground. So you can do, I think there's like 5 of each. Because idealistically, the fight is supposed to spawn the numbers. Make a level that is levelception. That actually is a good idea, Hammer. I will write that into my large list. Do I have my level ideas list? I think I do. I do. I do not think the anime... Wait, what? Gotcha system level? Yeah. Those are all good. Oh, that's hard mode commission. I'll just put in my small improvement idea. I'll just add it in here. Gotcha level. I already did have an idea for a gotcha level. or a microtransaction level for a joke. So I'm ahead of you. Levelception is a good idea. I have kind of a level for levelception yet, but I don't have any proof of concept stuff, so I can't show it to you. But that does exist. Okay. I got level ideas for days, dude. You don't gotta worry about it. We've been here for 2 years. More than 2.5 years. A Walmart Supercenter based level. I'm gonna specifically need like things from you about that since you're working at Walmart now. You're gonna have to feed me information on that one. I'll add it to the list though, as a consideration. I'll get you the floor plans, mod list, all of it. Matrix level, man. You're talking about like the movie Matrix, or are you talking about like the we're in the Matrix? Like, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Tate. RTS level. RTS level is a good idea. You guys are full of ideas tonight. RTS. I like the RTS thing. The movie Matrix, got it. Yeah, maybe I should make a red pill, blue pill level since that meme is so prolific in society. About the illusions. That could be good. My heart desires. Anywhere is possible in this game. I have a golf level too. I did make golf and jump off the bridge. You can play golf. You have to schedule processes like a processor does. When you choose the wrong pill, it goes into your levelception thing. That's a good idea too, Hammer. Oh, we have to schedule processors like a processor. I actually don't really understand how a processor does, but a scheduling level, like scheduling people and time management, could be pretty funny. A game for you. Let me find it. All right, let's see it. Is it Frog Fractions? That game specifically stands out in my mind. Make a computer within a level where you have to program your own game inside of it. That is unique. I will give you that. That is a very unique idea. This bird is spastic today. Oh, that's interesting. Figures. Figures, I can't take this shot. Don't lie to me. Oh, barely. This son of a bitch, dude. I programmed this guy too good. It's like a real goose. Use the golf as a bat. Nah, dude, the level would be too easy. What's the lore behind the goose? That's a great question. Well, the lore behind this level is I used to be a golf course manager, so I dealt with the geese quite consistently. As for the lore behind the goose, I have no vendetta against them other than they were on the golf course quite consistently. And the golfers didn't like them. I kind of liked them. You're the OS. What weird games are you linking in my chat, dude? Look at this game. Oh, the goose is just Timmy. Oh, the goose is just Timmy. POV, I'm the OS. South Park, but inside your game. I do like South Park. Dude, what kind of game did you send me, bro? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Okay. 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 I'm the OS. Okay. Okay. Sound effects as CPU like a OS does. Okay. 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 Okay, I kind of lost me here. What? I can try it. Okay. So what, we gotta run programs? What the fuck is happening, dude? Clear the IO events, bro. Those processes are frozen. Oh, these? Dude, this guy doesn't have enough processor. This is way too confusing for me. I think I get the basic of it. I don't know how RAM interacts with this, but each of these processes need a certain amount of time, and then I have to not let them die because they're gonna go through levels of starvation. The slowness means that they're... Dog, I can't do this in real time. What is your suggestion to me here? Your PC probably only has 46 cores. Well, it's doing this at like a gajillion times a second, right? Oh, I see. This is actually quite complicated, but it's a great teaching mechanism for people to understand how processors work. Not a fun game for me, but I get it. It's actually a little bit easier to manage when there's less. So wait, how do they upgrade to heavenly status? You had 9 months to die, Sedge. I'm not a computer, dude. And I had a couple go to heaven, okay? So there's a little bit of stuff happening here. I think these processes are being dramatic. Process need to stay running the CPU in order to complete. Yeah, that makes sense. I see. Got it. That's actually hella confusing. Because now I gotta manage much more than I thought. Closing indicate level 7. Eventually all the problems are gonna happen if you keep them from starving. Actually, what I think would make this game a little bit better is knowing, like, having a bar for, like, what level of starvation they are, like, how long they've been starving, I think would help. Have you ever heard of a game called Conquer Online? I have not. What is Conquer Online? Old school game. I have not heard of that game before, ever. And I played a lot of MMOs. Fun AF. Look it up. I'll look it up for you. Drew, that game is very unique. I do not initially see how I can make a jump off the bridge level on it, but you give me a week and I probably could. If I was motivated enough to do it. This is what Conquer Online looks like. This guy, he's got exactly the enthusiasm I'm looking for to understand this game. So it's an MMO. Kind of like what you guys are making, dude. A little bit. Just a little bit. It's a lot of fun, no lie. Drew and I were obsessed with Endless Online when we were younger. You run a server for it. Oh my goodness. We played the crap out of this. Norse.live. That's pretty awesome, dude. This game was our childhood. Drew's childhood, more specifically. My goodness. Drew learned the art of scamming through Endless Online. Pure scam artist. Money would flow in and out of my pockets every day in that game. Yeah, I bet it did. Just trading people, faking them out. I saw there was a bunch of private servers with like mods for that. I would love to go back and play that at some point again. I kind of also want to do a Minecraft playthrough at some point soon, because I think that would be fun as well. So yeah. Good stuff. What am I doing? Am I going to bed? Dude, I got a squad for it, so if you're ever down, I'm down. You have a squad? You got like 4 people that are willing to play that game? You talking about like Josh and all of them? Dude, that would be hilarious. I just remember how grindy it is, but I think a lot of the mods amend that. Yeah, bro, repping the set for real. For real. For real. I think I'm going to save Elden Ring for tomorrow. And I'm going to call the stream off for now. Because I got some dishes I got to dry. I think that'll be it for today. I appreciate you sharing the game, Drew. It was, it put into my mind how much I can value and empathize with my computer processor now. It has changed me. I'm a changed man. I now know the difficulty of why programs freeze, because I couldn't manage to handle 4 tasks at human speed. I can't imagine what the processor is going through. Yeah, it is sweet, Mojo. I hope you're here tomorrow when we play some Elden Ring. The grind. Yeah, imagine you need to balance hundreds of thousands at nanosecond of time. I don't think I could do it. I'm just telling you straight up. There's no drug you can give me that would make that feasibly possible for me. It's very stressful. It's difficult to deal with. That game is interesting. I bet you could add some elements to it very easily that would make it even crazier to play. Addy and 7 Sins. Yeah, you just gotta just like God, that's a lot of gum to imagine chewing in your mouth. Take a little zinni, head to Zimbabwe. 7 zinnies. Some addies. Oh man, that would be terrible. Zin isn't gum, it's packs. Yeah, it's like a pillow gum, isn't it? It's a gum. I saw what's his face chewing it. I mean, I know you kind of just like you can leave it in your mouth, but I thought you could chew it. It looked like a little pillow when what's his face was offering it to me, but obviously I don't do nicotine, so I don't do any of that stuff, so I'm not gonna do it. But my impression of it is that it was nicotine gum. Tobacco bag you suck on. Maybe. I don't know. Because they do talk about like leaving in your upper or bottom lip, so I'm not sure. I'll have to ask them. Now I need to know. You're making me curious. That video you sent was really interesting about how we're running out of nicotine because of how popular Zins are and all that stuff. That's very fascinating stuff. It's like, and also just the way that corporations can kind of incentivize people to do drugs that help increase their productivity, but without giving them smoke breaks. It's like, yeah, dude, you can do the Zins all the time you want in the office. There's no smoke. It doesn't impede on anyone. Like, hope it ups the quota for the next quarter. Keep going, dude. You're doing great. So, all right, sick. Good stuff. Thank you for everyone who came out. I appreciate Carol for coming out and discussing Heroes of Might and Magic with me. That was great. I appreciate Drew for showing games. I appreciate Hammer for your comedy. You were the comedy for this time. And Mojo, I hope your tooth heals. You came and arrived. Weni witty wichi. That's exactly what you said there. Or, if you're saying it in ecclesiastical Latin, veni vidi vici. That's all I have for tonight. Good night. Don't work too hard. And I'll see you maybe at the same time tomorrow. Maybe a little earlier. Maybe a little later. We'll see. Good night for now. Thank you for coming out and have a great day.